There's a new smartwatch out, the Pebble Time. What do you need to know about it? Well, the previous Pebble was my favorite smartwatch. It was a lot of people's favorite smartwatches because it had the best battery life, almost 7 days. It could be worn while swimming, it could get your basic information, and it looked cool. It was a fun retro look, didn't cost too much, and it worked with Android and iOS. Now Pebble is back, and the big differences are that it has a color reflective screen that's always on, has the same promised 7-day battery life, and it's got a microphone if you're an Android user. iOS, you can use it a little bit in the future. Plus, it's got the promise of smart straps. The charge port in the back can connect potentially in the future to sensor-studded straps that aren't here yet, so it's hard to judge. What I am going to look at is this as a color smartwatch. How does it compare to the competition? Well, it's not as fancy as an Apple Watch or Android Wear. It doesn't have a touch screen. You have to use buttons on the side, and it doesn't really interact all that much with its apps. But there are a lot of apps out there. There are fitness apps, there are games, there are quirky watch faces with all sorts of weird characters in them. And all the previous Pebble apps can load onto this. This has more storage than previous Pebble watches. You can put dozens of watch faces and apps onto this as opposed to just 8 before. The battery life, maybe I got a little more like 4 days as opposed to 7, but the software is early on this review model, so that may change. I like the look. It's kind of cutesy, kidsy type of look, but it does have a stainless steel bezel and a Gorilla Glass display. That's better than the original Pebble, which had a very scratch-prone plastic surface. The Pebble Steel, though, kind of cut a little more of a mature look. There is going to be a steel version of this coming for $100 more in the summer. Maybe you want to wait for that, and it has a little more battery life, too. I like the Pebble Time. I'm not absolutely head over heels in love with it, but I spent less time looking at it and dealing with it than I did with some of the fancier smartwatches. And if you want a watch that's going to get basic notifications, buzz you when you need to, that you can sleep with, and that can give you silent alarms, and looks fun, and you can play around with, maybe the Pebble Time is for you. I like wearing one again. I'm Scott Stein at CNET, and this is the Pebble Time.